All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
And welcome everybody to Thursday night here on Real Talk. We got some football on, if you want to call it that. Some men are having the moment of their life here
right
tonight.
On top. Right on top.
What you mean?
We ain't even get through the intro.
First of all, you're going to say, if you want to call it that. Second of all, the guys that's in the fight of their life.
Right, these guys are fighting for jobs.
That's the truth.
You said for their life, though.
This could change their life. You
right,
catch
so
on.
How is it? So why would you not call it football?
Because this quality, you know, it ain't the best. Why y'all been doing this to me? You know the reason you ain't been watching preseason football is because it's not good quality. Right.
I've been watching it.
Well, the first night it was on, and I was like, y'all watching, y'all laughed me out the room.
No, that was Chris and Kenny. That was Chris and Kenny.
This is, if anything, this is the dress rehearsal one.
It looked tonight out. There's no
Oh,
stars.
is this week? Well, wait, they changed it though. It's only 3 preseason games.
Yeah, it's only 3.
Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah,
so
this is the last
year. This is the last week.
The first week of football is gonna be a mess because there ain't no way these teams got real game time rhythm because ain't nobody been playing. But we'll see how it goes. But I did want to start with something. I'm gonna switch it up on y'all. I don't know. Did y'all see T.O. ran the 40?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
So Terrell T.O. Owens ran the 40, and I think it was, I've seen 2. I've seen 4.38 and 4.4 at age 45. Outran some young boys. The cameraman couldn't even keep up. He was trying to catch him with a stick. He was so fast. It was like greased lightning. That's not a shot. That
is. You just think it's because you tried to throw it under. You try to throw an underhand pitch and thought what nobody gonna see. Nah, not this time, buddy. I'm on to you, Ray. Your little side, little comments at the end, man.
My question for y'all is simply: Tom Brady's doing it. LeBron's playing late into his career. Do y'all think Terrell Owens could play a year in the National Football League? Go.
Yeah, I think so. Y'all just impressed me with the numbers that he just threw up in the 40. So if he can still run, I understand it's not with equipment and none of the stuff like that, but wasn't T.O. just playing in an arena football league or something like that?
Some fan control league or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. So
I think
you know what I mean?
The guys that he was running actually.
Was it?
So
yeah.
If he can still put equipment on and get out there and play, I think he can play one more year. You know, if you got wide receivers in the league that can, you know, barely stay healthy and or just ain't being that guy, why not give T.O. a shot? But would that mess up his Hall of Fame?
No, he already in now, so it ain't.
Okay.
I don't know. Do they have because if he has stats on his bus, they would have to change him. Should he get more yards? But yeah, I don't think they can kick him out. You can't.
No, I'm not talking about kicking him out, but
I mean, now if you want to get back in the tiers, you know, but outside of that. But he's in the top tier, so I ain't
Nah, you tried to slide. You knew I was getting ready to let it go.
Yo's top 10 for sure.
But no, I think he can give it one more year, man. Why not?
And Kenny, what you think? You got faith in him?
No, I mean, I don't know how, you know,
how effective he would be, or if you use him in spot duty or whatever the case. But I remember I want to say it was about a year ago. It was some footage out of him running with Tyreek Hill and somebody else, and he was right neck and neck with those dudes. So like he's just a freak of nature. So I wouldn't put anything past him. So I mean, in spot duty, I think he could still get out there and be productive for some team for sure. And he had been, and this is not nothing new. He's been saying this for years.
Yeah, he's been trying to get back for years.
Yeah.
He retired when he didn't want to, and he, every chance he's gotten, he's tried to remind people, I'm here. So, all right, cool.
What you think, Ray? What you think, Ray? Come on, don't try to skip around it.
I think he good. I don't think I think what Kenny said in spot duty, maybe 15, 20 snaps a game, something like that. I don't want to see him running those slants or in breaking routes per se. Maybe a lot of comebacks, maybe some fade, some back shoulder stuff. But I don't think he wants to be taking those kind of hits. I don't care what kind of shape you're in at that age.
I'm going to put him on the goal line. Jump ball situation.
I mean, he's what, 6'1"? I don't think he was super tall.
T.O. 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
I knew he was.
But I think he'll most likely outmuscle some of them DBs though. In a jump ball situation.
Yeah, I mean, the 50-50 balls.
I lied. I said 45. He's 48.
He could be
48.
He's 48.
Yeah,
no, dog. He got to hang that up. It's done. It's over. Get the one. Oh, no. I didn't know he was knocking on 50 like that. Hold up.
Hey, watch your mouth. Hey, watch your mouth.
Nah. I'm playing, though.
Me. Watch out now.
For a guy that can stay in shape like that.
If you said you was trying to go play in the league.
Oh, no, absolutely. You don't have to worry about that. That is definitely not happening.
You ain't lacing them up, Kenny? Come on, Kenny.
It's over. Real quick, I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story when I knew it was over. So we was playing some pickup one day, and I was guarding this young dude, got down, sat in the chair, got in my stance. Kid made a move, and I never got out of my stance. He was already by me. That's when I knew it was over.
That was it.
Oh, man.
It happens to the best of us, man.
I'm still kicking it just a little bit.
Nah, I do a little shooting competitions with the with the kids. Yeah, kids. Kids I coach, but other than that, that's it. If I got to go up and down, it's 2 times at the most. I need to blow.
Well, I don't really have a segue for it. Going a completely different direction. We didn't get a chance to talk about it. I think we talked about it briefly, but the new golf league that came out, I can't think of the name of it. And I can't remember the name.
LIV or something like that.
Yeah. That. So we didn't really get a chance to talk about it, but I don't know if y'all saw, but of all people, because I didn't even know they was cool like that, Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy seemingly in response, but not really in competition with LIV, and in sponsorship with PGA, is launching a virtual golf league where it seems like you would basically go to like Top Golf and it would be a team and you would compete, but virtually you would be in a bunch of different random locations. So it seems like it should be cool, and it's going to be broadcast at like prime time. I think like they said on Monday nights. So my question is, obviously golf has really been hard to catch on. Do you think this can work? I'll start with you this time, Kenny.
Yeah, I definitely think it could, because we're in this virtual age and this virtual this virtual space nowadays, whether it's the metaverse or so forth and so on. So I definitely think that it could work. And I'm a big fan of Top Golf, so if it has that type of element to it, I'm sure that that's going to attract not only golfers, but casual fans and people of that sort, because it's a fun version of golf. So I definitely think it could work.
Cool. All right, so back to business. the Lakers finally get active in the offseason. We've been waiting all offseason for the blockbuster deal, and the Lakers came through with a huge trade for a point guard, a legendary point guard, a pit bull of a defender, a menace to basketball society. Patrick Beverly is going to Minnesota. Sorry, going to Utah. I stand corrected. And Utah fleeces another team. What does Danny Ainge do? I don't understand. Y'all brought in Stanley Johnson last year and signed him. Y'all were so pleased with his progress. You gave him a contract that you found. And then you trade him for Patrick.
Wait, no. Don't forget THT.
No,
Two young guys.
I'm going to include him too. You then trade THT. Have y'all not learned? Stop trading your young talent. Like you drafted great, and y'all keep trading it away for Patrick Beverly. I remember a day when I was on this show telling you guys how valuable Patrick Beverly was, and y'all thought I was crazy. But the Lakers clearly see the value in Patrick Beverly. Now, we're going to get to in a minute how the heck that fit is going to work. But, Dev, I just wanted to paint the picture for the people. We finally got some action from the Lakers with a big name for the purple and gold. Dev, how do you feel about this trade?
Exactly how I feel. Emotional damage.
Emotional damage.
That's exactly why I feel like. Ray, I don't think you could have said it any better. Patrick Beverly, man. Like, this guy. He didn't got on talk shows. He didn't rave and rant. He didn't cry. And when he got into the play-in tournament, he cried like a baby. and he made himself relevant. And they was like, we need Patrick Beverly. That's what we need. That's what the NBA today needs. So they put him on a talk show. Then he went crazy talking about Chris Paul and
I forgot that was this
the game should be this, and he has washed this, and I did this, and Russell this, and then next thing you know, he went from Minnesota to Utah. Then he was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Minnesota, how did you do me so dirty? I brought y'all a play-in tournament. And then he goes to Utah, and then the Lakers was like, hey, we didn't get in the play-in tournament. And that guy brought the Timberwolves a play-in tournament. Let's trade our young talent away, shoot them away, even though I'm not a big fan of THT. But Patrick Beverly? I don't know. Wow. Now, get this guy over here. As everybody keeps saying, oh, the Lakers, we need shooters. We need this. And what do Patrick Beverly provide on the offensive end? Nothing. As much as how Ray you feel about DeAndre Ayton, this is how I feel about Patrick Beverly. Like, what do this guy brings to the offensive table? What? And Kenny, you just had to be the jerk and rub it all in the face when you just got in the group chat and put my man Bubba Dub in there and was just trash. He just trash like, oh man.
Shout to Bubba Dub.
Oh man. Now, only thing I just want to know is like, how can you put two pit bulls into the same cage. How are you gonna put Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly in the same cage all year long? That almost kind of gives me a clear sign that says that somebody is on their way out. You know what I mean? And if you had to trade 1-for-1, Russell, Patrick, but I'm taking Russ. I don't care. I don't care about his Westbrook. I don't care about how bad of a down season he had last year. I'm taking Russell Westbrook over Patrick Beverly every day, all day. So y'all can have it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my thing. I'm about to have an emotional breakdown. This is just not my week. Y'all got on me about Lamar. Now y'all getting on me about Patrick Beverly, man. It's like this is not my week, man. This is just y'all can have it.
Go ahead, Kenny. Your thoughts on this
listen,
breaking news.
I think the part that you nailed is like Danny Ainge is the king of the finesse. Like, this guy, man, he just has a way of finessing teams, and he's been doing it, going all the way back to Kevin McHale. This guy has a history of finessing teams when it comes to trades. Kevin McHale, Brian Colangelo. Now he finessed the Lakers out of, and here's the part that I don't understand. Like,
didn't he finesse Brooklyn too? When he got the big, when he had KG and Paul Pierce.
Yeah, for all the picks. That's what I'm saying. This guy has a history of pulling off one-sided deals. It's almost like to the point where, like, I hope Leon Rose is not the next victim with Donovan Mitchell, because he seems like that's the next one up. But in terms of Pat Bev, like what I don't understand is the only thing that I could think of is that this is a way to push Russ. Like, you got somebody that is going to get
the fight in practices.
That's the only thing that I could think of that would make this make sense, because why would you, if you're looking to move Russ, why would you trade 2 young assets that you would be able to use in that deal? Like that, it doesn't make any sense to me. So that's the only thing that I could think of, is that they're bringing him in here, and this is putting Russ on notice. Like, yo, if you're not bringing it, well, that's not the problem with Russ in terms of him bringing it. He's always going to bring it. It's just, whether it's going to be a positive or a negative effect. But that's the only thing I'm really baffled by this deal. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And the other part of it is that, that Ray pointed to, that's so, you dead on it in terms of you're bringing in another old guy. Like, Pat Bev was 34. He was basically, you saw him auditioning because he was getting ready for his transition. Like, he was transitioning into his next career after playing. So it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so I don't know. I honestly don't know.
So, where I think Danny Ainge is why he the finesse king? I think he got secrets on all these people.
It gotta be something, man.
He got dirty pictures. He got something.
So my follow-up to that would be, Dev, you kind of alluded to it. Obviously, in the locker room, we can have that conversation in a second. But on the court, if the goal is to bring Pat in to trade Russ out, why would you do that? That's a downgrade. The only way I think that makes sense, I guess, is if you really believe Indiana is going to trade you Miles Turner and Buddy Hield for Russ, that would be an even better finesse than Danny Ainge. If they can manage to do that, that changes everything. Well, to a certain extent, because you still got Pat Bev as your starting point guard. But I'm guessing the ball will be in LeBron's hand.
That would be fine to have him as a starting point guard, because if you, like you say, if you're trying to get Russ out, if that's going to be the case, because right now you got 2 guards who can't play in the fourth quarter, or you probably not going to look to in the fourth quarter right now. So then, if you get rid of one, you still have a guard that you're not looking to go to in the fourth quarter, really.
And that was what I was going to say, because they're not going to be the decision maker, but he can't really shoot. Like, he can, but he's not. And he has hit some clutch shots. I will give him that, but that's that.
But you're gonna make Pat Bev if he's on the floor. If he's on the floor, you're making Pat Bev beat you from the perimeter.
Whatever, but that you're right. That's the guy that's going to get left, and you're going to have to make a play. And I'm pretty confident he can.
Mm-hmm.
So,
the only
other you see what Minnesota did with him.
LeBron's hands. That's the only thing that this was. If assuming that Russ is in another deal, then this puts the ball in LeBron's hands, and he's able to facilitate the offense. And because Pat Bev is not really a guy that's gonna initiate your offense, so I think that's really the only reason why you would do that is he's gonna be the guy that's gonna just be his Mr. 94 feet, pick up guys, and be that pest, be that irritant, and just lock up on defense and stay out the way offensively.
But so I'll ask. So how does this trade? I'll just get to it. How does this trade help them beat Memphis? How does this trade help them beat Golden State?
I don't see it.
Like, I don't see how they get better unless they can flip Russ. And that'll make them somewhat better, but they still have no bench. And by doing this, Kenny, this is what I wanted to ask you. That means the ball is in LeBron's hand more. Is that what we really want all year in year, 21? Where he's having to dominate the ball?
It might be, but it may not be what we want, but it may be what LeBron wants, because we know that LeBron likes the ball in his hands. Like, that's how he's played his entire career. But
he's also gotten hurt the last couple of years.
He has, but at this point he is who he is, and he's not gonna change he's not really gonna adjust his game like that. We've seen last season, like there was never really, in terms of those guys kind of sacrificing their game to help each other, be productive or be effective on the court. Everybody was just still trying to do their things their way. So I don't know how, if that does change with Pat Bev, but perhaps you get a better defender out on the perimeter, because he's probably a better perimeter defender than Russ. That's about the only thing he has. No, that isn't about. That is the only thing that you would say that you would give him an advantage over Russ in terms of perimeter defense. Everything else is Russ. So I don't know. I just don't. This doesn't. I can't figure it out.
Very interesting.
It as the first move, like if you trade Russ first, and maybe depending on the pieces, it makes more sense. But now this just dropped the Russ's value even lower. Now we know you got a problem. So if I was going to offer you something before, I'm not still offering you the same thing. I'm about to watch y'all figure out Russ and Patrick Beverley all year. And you'll be begging me to take Russ by December or whenever, or by Christmas Day. Because that, man, I can only imagine them two on the court at the same time. I would love to see
I would love to watch practice. Forget about the game.
We ain't gonna do that.
Practice, because for them to be scrapping.
Because you just gotta imagine Pat Beverly gonna be on that second team, and you're gonna want to guard Russ on that practice.
Let's not kid ourselves. He think he better than Russ, so he think he should be starting. So his practice, he didn't come in to be a backup.
Yeah, so, this gotta because there's bad blood between these two guys. Like, you're not bringing this guy in if you have any intentions of having Russ moving forward. Like, there's got to be another piece to this. Russ got to be on his way out.
All right. Well, we gonna see, but again, it just doesn't make sense. The Russ deal makes more sense first. Like, THT and Stanley Johnson's value wouldn't change at all. If anything, without Russ,
maybe they got to take some more pieces back in besides. Maybe they got to take some other spare parts from Indiana. They got to be some throw-ins maybe in that deal. That's why they moved those two guys. I don't know. I'm just just throwing stuff
Or
against the
maybe
wall.
I'm gonna say maybe it might be some low budget guys that's coming along with this deal with the Pacers. It might not just be Buddy Hill and Miles. It might be some players that will, players that might got contracts overseas somewhere, something in that nature.
And then the other part where LeBron has always thrived and kind of gotten away with stuff is he would get the savvy back end of his career vet to come play for the minimum because there was a chance they would go to a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's going to get those kind of vets right now. Now that free agency is about to open up for real, I will be shocked how many of those David West types are going to take that deal to go play in LA. There's so many much better options if you're trying to get a ring at the end of your career. So I have no idea how they're going to fill out the roster. That means you have no depth. You have a bunch of people with injury history because Pat Bev stayed nicked too. His style of play keeps him hurt.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no idea what is happening. But I guess this is what happens when you got 8 people in the front office making decisions. I don't know whose suggestion this was.
That was Phil Jackson call.
This is a Phil call. Even Phil went off the bat.
Nah, Magic co-signed it though, so who knows? Magic might have been behind this one.
Magic England to try and get back in the good graces because he knows it's an opportunity because it's a mess. So he's gonna come out supportive, but we all know, and we saw. Actually, we can get to that. So obviously, there's been reports because we talked about it on here, so it's only right we follow up. LeBron James has done nothing to refute reports all summer that they wanted Kyrie. Every time a report came out, radio silence from LeBron James camp. Never publicly stepping up or saying anything to support Russell Westbrook. Today, a tweet goes out condemning Russ, or actually, no, it was in support of Russ. And LeBron magically knows how to find Twitter again or Instagram. I forget what social media it was. And now he's can't wait to see what he's going to do this year. I can't wait for y'all to see what he's going to do this year. He did not say, can't wait to say what we are going to do, or can't wait to see what we are going to do together. No. What he's going to do, and not even with us. I think the writing may be on the wall, but I really, really, really do not want to ever hear LeBron is a great teammate talk because this is terrible.
Now, how do you? It sounds like you read all in between the lines. You was reading in between the lines, between the lines. Like you had your little microscope and you was like, yep, LeBron said this. Yep, that's what he said.
He's too smart. Y'all know he's methodical.
Oh, no, it's calculating. For sure.
Yeah, I get it, but
he finally decides to show up right after the trade.
Yeah, because
this is a coincidence.
He knows that Pat Bev and Russ don't get along. He know they don't get along, so he's just like, well, y'all already doubted him last year. Y'all seen now, y'all already making reports. Oh, he slimmed down. He look a little bit in better shape than normal and all this other stuff. Now people want to ride the Russ bandwagon. And then once something goes south of this guy, they can be up. There go that guy again. There go Westbrook. There go the guy that.
That's the other part to this. Pat Bev's coming in. We all, I think, believe Pat Bev's coming in to be a starter. So how is Russ going to have this great year if Pat Bev's coming in?
I'm not saying he's going to be a starter. I'm saying he's going to be a starter only if they trade Russ. If
that's the only way I see him,
he's coming off the bench.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is, if I'm Pat Bev, who we know listens and has his ear to the floor, and this could be me in person and digging deep, but basically what you just said
is
Russ is the starter to you. I'm a backup. That's you throwing shots at me already.
And
you're supposed to be excited for me coming in. Where's my
no.
The bench.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the same way. Look how Melo was thinking all those years. Oh, I'm a starter. Once he finally realizes, like, you know what, my career is now
behind somebody that was atrocious last year by most people's standard.
It was a lot of people he probably could have started over, but you know what I mean. Pat Beverly ain't no starter. You got traded.
He was just starting in Minnesota, wasn't he? Didn't D'Angelo Russell get hurt? Wasn't he starting?
No, D'Angelo Russell was starting.
I thought Russell got hurt and Pat Bev was starting out there.
He's a fill-in. He's like something that you go in the dentist, you know, when your teeth is chipped and you gotta get that little fill-in. That's what Pat Beverly is, man. He ain't no starter.
I disagree on that. I think he could be a starter in this.
Well, put it like this: if he come to Washington, yes, he's a starter.
Yeah.
If he,
I can't argue that.
Here's the reality about Pat Bev. He's not a starting point guard on a championship contender. Like I agree with that 100%. Yeah, I was, on a young team, a team that's trying to build culture, a team that's on the come up, a team that needs a guy that's going to, ruffle some feathers, hold guys accountable, stir things up. He could be that guy, but championship team, not.
And just for clarity, he started 54 to 58 games he played in Minnesota last year. So him and Russell must have been playing together.
Young up-and-coming team. That was the perfect situation for him.
Yeah. But all right.
He's like I say, he's a fill-in. He's a fill-in.
Well, he's about to be a starter.
No, he ain't. Only way, like Kenny said, only way he's gonna be a starter if Russ go.
Yeah.
And you think those two are gonna coexist all year? That's what y'all saying?
Nope. I always said no.
I'm saying
he's gonna be the starter.
No. Nah. I'm saying if he's there, like, to me, I think that this is if Pat Bev and Russ, if this is things stay status quo, it's gonna be. This is to put a light of fire under Russ, and Russ is going to go at that dude and try to destroy him every day in practice, and then that's going to in turn get Russ back to. I think this is maybe what the thinking is. That this will light a fire under Russ. This will get Russ back to the guy that he was, and this will help the Lakers in the long run be better. That's the silver lining.
I think that makes sense. I just think the reality of the situation becomes that's Russ's biggest detriment is when he play out of control. So now you're gonna have a battery in his back all year. He's gonna be trying to do too much, and that's when he's at his worst.
But I don't know if that's necessary. So I think you might be saying it a little different. That I think this is gonna not only light a fire under Russ, but to light a fire under Russ to play, to buy into the team concept and to sacrifice himself for the greater good of the team. Because guess what? If you want to be going a solo mission, then Pat Bev, we got somebody that we could put in here and play 25, 15, 20 minutes, and you guys can split the time. So you could either fall in line and sacrifice for the greater good, or you can hit a horn and Pat Bev will come in here and do his thing.
Here's the other part. This is a contract year for Russ. You think team-friendly ball? You think Russ thinks team-friendly ball is going to get him that deal? He just watched what's happening to Kyrie. So he's well aware. He fired his agent. He's aware of what the market is. If he go out and average 14, 8, and 5, that ain't gonna get it done.
But at his age and what he's been in terms of the wear and tear and things like that, was he really gonna get another max deal?
It may not be a max, but there's a big difference between a non-max and Dennis Schroeder.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, there's a big window that he's playing with.
That is called the Schroederline.
That's
from
fact.
47 this year to
That
Dennis Schroeder.
Big fact.
There's a lot, and his play is going to dictate that. Because you think for me, and it depends on how it all plays out. But if he was to play well this year, there are some young teams that might be a point guard away. And if he's free, there's options. So I think he's definitely in a position where he wants to play. Like Miami might need a point guard after this year. Like there are places that if he shows he can play well this year, I think there would be a great opportunity for him. So I think you're right. He's going to aim to play his best. I just think that's like torture. Them two going at each other, like I hope it's for the best, but I think there's going to be a bunch of bumps and bruises and injuries, and there's going to be no team unity. And typically what happens, people got to pick a side. And that's like the worst thing you can have on the team is where you're going to go out to dinner with both of them, because I doubt they're going to do that. But we'll see.
Well, that's the first test for Coach Ham right there then.
Yeah, absolutely.
God bless him. And in other news, if you don't want Kevin Durant on your team, trade for Patrick Beverley, because he's going to say something unnecessary and something delusion. But that delusion is why I said he's not going to LA thinking he's about to be a backup, because he doesn't understand, and he's mad at Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. And Patrick Beverley will never know what it's like to be Kevin Durant. So he's mad at.
That ain't a shot. That's just a fact.
Like, what are we talking
about? It's a shot at Pat Beverley, though. Yeah.
Like, I get it. You know, he's been on this talk tour all summer. Maybe he's trying to do the Micah Parsons 2 for ESPN, where he's on once a week. Shout out to Micah for that. That's big time.
That's FS1.
No, I'm just saying Pat might do it for ESPN.
Oh, got you.
Yeah. Maybe that's what he's aiming for with all this talking he's doing. Him and Draymond, it's gonna be a fight to see who can get whatever job they want.
Although Draymond already got his job with Returner,
yeah. So I don't know. He just it was cool when it was Chris Paul, because I felt there was some validation there.
No, because you
loved that, Chris. You loved it.
Right.
Pat Beverley was your man that episode. We can roll that. If we roll that tape back that day, Pat Beverley was your all-star, your max player. He was your guy that day.
But then he just went too far. It's like, those clown acts that got to keep going, pushing the envelope even farther to get attention. Like, you start off good. You start off with some truth. And then you just got to keep doing dumb stuff. And now he's just at a delusional, dumb place. Like, Kevin Durant wanted to get out. They wouldn't trade him. What do you want him to do? Like he did, according to reports, he did everything possible to help get traded so that free agency could move on. So I don't know what offseason Pat Bev was watching. I guess we have different perspectives on life, but I was just kind of annoyed by it. And at this point, get to LA, shut up, win the starting job or not. But I'm over it. Dev, your thoughts?
I'm with you, man. He was just nonsense. Like, how you gonna blame a guy who wants to find another job or another team, another organization? You know what I mean? And you talking about, Kevin Durant is holding up everybody from getting signed and all this. Like, how? If your team knows, like, you know what? If we want Kevin Durant, we're gonna have to give up either somebody good or damn near our whole team just to get Kevin Durant. So, you know what? We ain't even going to be in this Kevin Durant deal. You can't be mad that the teams that wasn't in the Kevin Durant deal didn't want you. You know what I mean? That just plain as simple, plain it is. You can't get mad. The teams that wanted Kevin Durant was the teams that was holding up and waiting to see, can we actually get Kevin Durant? It wasn't the Lakers who traded for him. You traded for Pat Beverly. They wasn't waiting for Kevin Durant. You know, even though we was kind of waiting on to see the Kyrie situation, but Kevin Durant wasn't holding that process up. Kevin Durant wasn't holding the process up in Boston when they went out and got Malcolm Brogdon. So I really don't know what Pat Beverly was talking about. If the teams want who they want, they gonna go out and get them. The Knicks didn't wait. You see, they did all that tampering just to get Jalen Brunson. So
hey, that ain't no shot. That's just the truth.
Touche.
So man, Pat Beverly, he just speaking nonsense, man. Once again, he was just trying to say, "Hey guys, look at me. I'm on TV again. I want to be famous." Once, you know. So Pat Beverly, you're a Lakers, so I can't really talk bad about you.
I would hate this. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah, why?
That wouldn't fit that culture. Yeah, he don't fit that culture.
But what would he even play?
Backup point guard.
But ain't that what you have?
I think Jordan Poole's more of a 2 for real.
He is, but they still like they play that positionless basketball.
But they still have a who? Then they went out and got somebody that replaced Gary Payton Jr.
They got, I think, not Connaughton. They got
DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo.
But he ain't no point guard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he bought like a 2 guard, right? Something that nature.
Yeah,
he most definitely a wing guy.
They don't have that. That offense is not one of those bring it up and initiate the offense type of thing. That offense pretty much runs through Draymond.
Yeah. And then you don't want Draymond and Pat Beverly in the same locker room either.
Yeah, there's gonna be some profanity.
If Katie and Draymond didn't get along, what makes you think Draymond and Pat Beverly gonna get along?
Well, Damien, we watch a different basketball than you because Kevin Durant's always been pretty good, and rings matter. So yes, when you get rings, you get more credit.
It sounds like you're a Hall of Famer once you get your ring.
You get Finals MVP,
right?
The greatest point guard of all time.
Why you got that? Yeah,
right.
That don't make no sense.
Wow. I'll take your word for it. I haven't seen that in their interactions. I've seen Damian Lee. I've seen Austin Rivers, but I don't know. I didn't know that they were best friends. And the personality thing I think is the issue. You can't have too many Draymonds in your locker room. On a team of 15, like you probably got space for like one.
Yeah, and then you guys sit here and think Draymond is the guy that doesn't play offense really. So you can't have 2 guys on the offensive floor who can't play offense.
And you got to figure Pat Bev don't know when to turn down. He flew around, hurt Steph in practice. Close down. He's doing extra stuff. Keep him the heck away from my star player. If they play the same position.
You know what? Pat Bev, he can only participate in the like individual drills. When it comes to like 5-court scrimmages,
no 5-on-5.
He can't play.
He's non-contact. He's non-contact.
Yeah, he can do the film study,
all
team meetings.
Steph would be out with a broken hand messing with Pat Bev.
LeBron is out this week, guys. Why? Pat Bev.
That is true.
AD is out this whole season. Why? Patrick Bev.
So with that being said, Utah, Danny Ainge has managed to get it done as only he can do. But there's one more domino to fall. So my question for you gentlemen is, do we get a Donovan Mitchell trade? If so, when and where? Or start with you, Kenny.
I think we do, but I don't see it happening. I think it's going to happen during the season. I don't think if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. If it was going to happen before the season started, because again with Danny Ainge, like he's going to wait until he gets exactly what he's looking for before he pulls the trigger. So apparently, according to the reports, the Knicks aren't willing to come up to the draft pick price that he wants. So I think this is going to drag out a little further. So I don't think it gets done before the season, but I do think it gets done at some point during the season.
So Kenny, real quick, if the Knicks get off to a good start, not a great start, but a good start, do you think that adds pressure to make a move that'll put them over the top? Or because they're not great, it lessens the need to even make that move?
I think if they get off to a good start, I think it actually helps them because it helps them in terms of their trade leverage, for lack of a better term, because they're playing well. That says we're not really as pressed to get Donovan Mitchell, so we're not going to want to pay the price that you want us to pay because we're already playing well, so we're good over here. So I think that would actually help them.
Okay, Dev, your thoughts?
I'm with Kenny. I think the trade's going to drag out a little long. Two teams that come to mind: the Knicks and the Heat. Knicks, like y'all said, I think they're going to wait to see how good the team is first to see, can Jalen Brunson, be that guy? Is that their 1A, I guess you can pretty much say? And if so, what type of help would he need to, that make New York solidify? Another team is the Miami Heat. As much as everybody keeps saying Tyler Hero is, he's still shouting out that he's ready to be a starter in this league and he shouldn't be overlooked over Trey and Luka and stuff like that. Then maybe he can get a starting job in Utah since Utah is rebuilding. So he can maybe go up there and show. I think he's going to have a bang out beginning of the year to show that yes, I am here. Yes, I am a starter. For Danny Ainge to be like, look, let's pull the trigger on Tyler Hero. Maybe he can be our star in the future and send Donovan to Miami because Miami need a second star, maybe to get them over hump if they can keep their core together. So that's the two teams I can kind of see, but it's gonna be late in the season. I don't see it in the beginning of the
season. Okay. So a team that came to mind, and I wish Chris was here because I wanted to get his opinion. If I'm Philadelphia and I have Tobias Harris, Tyrese Maxey, and some picks, should they not be in the market with a Harden, Mitchell, Embiid lineup? Not. I feel like with PJ Tucker, I feel like you can do a lot in that scenario.
But I feel like Philadelphia is really sold on Maxey. I think they really like, Maxey is kind of off limits right now unless he have a down
Donovan
year.
Mitchell?
Yeah, because like I said, I don't really see Donovan Mitchell giving Philly that edge. That I don't see. I don't think Donovan Mitchell. I still wouldn't pick Philly over Milwaukee still.
With Donovan Mitchell, with them
having Donovan Mitchell and James Harden, I still would think Milwaukee, maybe, and Boston would still have that edge.
You taking Boston, and we don't even know how Jaylen Brown feel after the trade talks. But even as it stands,
but he might come out and ball out and say, "Look, this is my last year, so let me just go out here and raise my stock real quick."
But I'm not taking that over Harden, Mitchell, Embiid, Tucker, Thibault, and the rest of the players on the bench. Ain't no way.
I would take it. I would take the Tatum, the Smart, the now Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams. I guess you could throw Al Horford name still in there because he's still Pritchard. Hopefully Grant Williams can step up. So I think Boston can match Philly younger guys too. When it comes to deeper into that bench, because both of them had inconsistency once you got deep into that bench.
Nah, Well,
maybe all the other thing too is that maybe they Philly only had Harden for half a season. They may want to see how with a full season of that that the team the way they have it now, how far they can go, because it was thrown together in the middle of the season, so we don't really even know in terms of how they'll really play once they really get full chemistry and they really get used to playing with each other and get all on the same page. So I think that could be another part to it too, because you make that trade and then you got to do the same thing all over again. Integrate Donovan Mitchell into the lineup, integrate him into your system, and make sure guys figure out where they want to, how they're going to play off of each other and with each other. So it's a transition.
Okay, we're gonna see what ends up coming of it. But so you guys said yes, just probably a little later in the year, not before the season.
Yeah, maybe probably around the All-Star break, kind of similar to last year with Harden. I think if something gets done around that time.
Yeah, because Utah gonna be some booty trash. You know what I mean? So they gonna hurry up and look to hurry up and Donovan Mitchell gonna be like, look, get me out of here. I can't play here no more.
Tank mode.
Yeah.
Damn, that would be tough for him. Well, we'll see what happens. But in tougher news, and a pro-am, and we've talked about pro-ams here, Chet Holmgren. We've talked about Chet. I think we all had similar concerns. And Liz Frank ligament tear done for the year, which seems like a long time for that injury. I know it's a bad injury, but that seems like a long time. But nonetheless, it's being reported he'll be out for the year. I'll get you guys kind of just high-level thoughts on how it happened, why it happened. Is it good? Is it bad? Kind of what you think comes of this, Kenny. I'll let you go.
It's of course it's very unfortunate. I feel for the guy, for the young fella, and I think it's one of those things where it'll be a learning experience for him to to understand. Man, you gotta you gotta know when to go, know when to slow. Like, this is pro-am. Like it's okay to not try to block everything in sight. Save that for, when it counts. So I think it's, it'll be a learning experience for him. And it's unfortunate, like I said, because it was an opportunity for, a lot of people to be able to see some NBA players that they probably wouldn't get the chance to see, especially in the Seattle area, since, they don't have a pro team anymore. So it's just unfortunate for something that was, that had such a great positive spin or positive outlook to it, to have this kind of cast a dark cloud over it. So that's my thing. And I think the other part is that you have to be concerned because of his size, because of his frame, that is this going to be a lingering problem going forward. So that's the other part, is that you really be, if you're OKC, you're going to be super cautious. And that's why I think they already ruled him out for the years, that they're going to be super cautious to make sure that everything is done and make sure that he comes back healthy, because with the foot and the big guy, we know issues with bigs and their feet, like that could be a lingering thing. And that, that's no brainer. So hopefully everything works out for him. I wish him the best. And it's just a unfortunate thing for something that was supposed to be, so positive.
Yeah, definitely. It's unfortunate. Definitely unfortunate. Dev, your thoughts?
It sucks, because I'm pretty sure he wasn't trying to play too hard. He was just trying to give out a nice little show for the for the fans and stuff like that. And to go down like that, that sucks. But then we look at it, that's part of basketball also, whether it's in a pro-am game, whether you training, whether you practice with your team, it can happen anywhere. And
yeah, that's a fact.
I don't think pro-am should be, the blame, and should be shamed for this, anything in that nature. Because like I said, this a couple years ago, look at DeMarcus Cousins was training for the Lakers,
right.
to, get ready
Klay
for that
Thompson.
season. got hurt. Klay Thompson, trainer, got hurt. You know what I mean? So it's just part of the game. It just sucks that
that ain't happening, Anthony.
No, I don't think it's that big of a deal because, like I said, this guy could have went outside running and probably could have did that. You know, step wrong, twist his ankle wrong, and anything in that nature.
Right.
You know, what I mean, it can happen. You know, whether he playing basketball or not playing basketball. So I don't think the owners should get into it. I don't think it's a big deal yet. It's not like a whole heap of players is going down with injuries in the program. So it just a freak injury, and it sucks that now he can't even play his rookie year.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think it is unfortunate, and to Anthony's point, I think the other part is these programs are good for business. So I think if you risk taking the NBA players out, it becomes almost like the Olympics when they didn't go in whatever year that was, 04, 08. It's good publicity through the summer when things are low. We've been to talk about basketball and to have the kids come out and test. This is just great publicity. So
it's good.
I think it's just a freak accident that I hate to be the one to say it, and probably was bound to happen in some form or fashion. Like, I think the tough part is we get on Zion for his size. So I was in a group chat earlier and they were saying he needs to put on weight. That doesn't necessarily help this kind of injury. Like, more weight is more pressure on your feet. So
you got to do it the right way.
Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting if it'll naturally develop. But
he young, man. He got that young NBA money, so he'll heal fast.
Yeah, and hopefully, recover quickly and be able to get back. And he's not the first. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Even Zion. Like, this is not the first time we've had guys that had a delayed debut.
Okay. So yeah, it's basketball time here shortly.
Yes,
and LA has
feel like basketball ain't take no break.
Because it's all gas, no breaks. It's an international game. I don't know if y'all saw Giannis and Jokic playing each other. Jokic got the better of him. Giannis was trying to guard him. He couldn't do nothing with that man. But in relation to basketball, I thought this was an interesting discussion I saw. Was you got to talk Battle of LA. You got 2.5 stars in LA potentially. And so the question is,
hold on, you get another one.
Who would you rather have? Paul George and Kawhi Leonard both coming off injuries, or LeBron and AD with AD in his injury history? If you had to pick a duo today, who would you take? Start with you, Dev.
I'm taking Braun and AD. Number one, I'm biased. Let's just start there, right there. I'm biased. Let's keep it a buck. Number two, I'm going with two guys that won a championship together. Even though a lot of people want to put an asterisk on it, a lot of people don't believe that was a real championship, Ray. But these guys did win a championship together. Secondly, third, we've seen more games with AD and LeBron than we've seen Kawhi and PG. I just believe that this duo is a little bit better. Now, if a role was switched and injuries was totally different, I think my bias pass wouldn't have passed on this one, because I'd have took George and Kawhi, but we don't know when Kawhi coming back, if he ever coming back. Then Kawhi don't want to play a whole season. He picked the games that he want to play. Paul George is almost like a baby AD sometimes. He's in and out. Don't know when is he playing or if he's playing. But like I said, the main reasons is that AD and LeBron played more games and won more games, in my opinion, versus Kawhi and Paul George.
Okay. Kenneth.
It's not an easy. You can make a case for either one, but assuming everyone is healthy, then I'm gonna go with. I got to go with Paul George and Kawhi. I think between the versatility and what they bring on both ends of the floor, I think that their, the ability to be able to score from all three levels, the ability to be able to put the ball on the floor, ability to be able to guard for, 1 through 4, like all of that. I think if it's, everything is, in a perfect world, then I got to go with PG and Kawhi.
And
we already know where you going at. So I already. You is most definitely a Kawhi and PG type folk guy. I can see
you do come off as a Laker hater, Ray.
I'm a Laker hater.
You do come off like
that. I used to love the Lakers. What do you mean?
Yeah, see, I used to love the. Well, that sounds like I used to love my ex-girlfriend till we broke up.
Nah, we broke up on good terms. It's all good. We still civil and kosher. I don't be taking shots. I just call it like I see it. And how I see it is the Clippers got the better duo. I mean, it is what it is. At this point, Anthony Davis, he's on the verge of falling off a cliff. We don't know what he is. He can't stay healthy. Even when he was healthy the year before, he didn't necessarily put up great numbers. Team wasn't good then either. They were just better than as bad as they were this past year. So I think what we've seen is when the Clippers play together, they've played pretty well. They just ain't played together. I was about to say, unfortunately, they haven't been able to play together much. And if they would stop running into Luka, they might be looked at completely different. But I got to see it out of AD.
Is this Paul George and Kawhi third year together, or their second?
Third.
Dang, third year.
First year was the bubble.
Third year, and we haven't seen them play together since the first year.
Yeah.
Because Kawhi didn't play all last year, right?
Yeah, he tore his ACL in the bubble.
Right. So we haven't.
It's their fourth year then.
Yeah, I was ready to say that.
The first year was in the bubble. Then the next year that's when he tore his ACL in the playoffs when they went to the conference finals.
I thought he tore it in the bubble in the playoffs. It was
no, that was the year after.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
And they went to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this gonna be their fourth year together.
And this is what, AD and Braun, fifth year together? No, this got to be like their.
Because AD came a year before Kawhi, I want to say.
Right. So yeah, this is like their fifth year together.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, for both of them, honestly. If you look at it,
absolutely.
100%. 100%. So that leads to the next question. And Dev, you better not say what you just said. We're gonna see what you say. Who is the best duo in the NBA, in your opinion? I'll start with you, Kenny, this time.
Yeah, I was thinking about this. It's a few that come to mind. Of course, Katie and Kyrie, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Giannis and Middleton, or Giannis and Drew Holiday. Depends on your preference. I just thought of one, Zach LaVine and DeRozan. That's another one you could think about too.
Is DeAndre Ayton one of the pairs?
Here you go. He could not.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is what I was talking about when I said he hates DeAndre Ayton as much as I did Pat Beverly. Boy, I tell you.
I just was asking. You know, he's a max guy, so I just wasn't sure if maybe
he got it though. Got that max deal.
He did.
And as much as
he gonna get that, and he gonna get them points over on Christmas Day too. Don't forget.
That's right.
Remains to be seen
on the record.
But that's 9-7, right?
Yep. Got to get over 9 and 7.
Yeah, he's got to get a double.
Oh, he definitely get no double. Definitely.
So disrespectful.
Oh man.
So
like, golly, Ray Bayless. Golly.
Double.
Like that man ain't just average 18 now. But no, as much as I want to be a homer and pick Kyrie and KD, I got to go with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think that one, because of their youth, because of how they ascended this past season, even though Jaylen and Tatum came up a little short now in the finals, and they're on the come up, and they I think they're the duo to be reckoned with. And now the question is the same way you got to mend fences in Brooklyn, you may have to mend fences in Boston in terms of Jaylen Brown's ego being being bruised because of these trade rumors. But I think that the combination of being able to score at the 3 levels, being able to defend, and being able to create your own shot and all of those things, and both of them just seem to get better each season. They come back a little better and add in something to their bag, especially like Jaylen Brown. I think he's really improved his ball handling, really improved his shooting since he's come into the league, because he was more of an athlete when he first came into the league, but he's gotten really skilled. His skill level has really improved. So I'm going to go with the 2 young guys, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
I understand. Dev, you seem like you're ready.
Yeah, boy, this is the one right here. This is the one. Russell Westbrook and Patrick Beverly. Hands down, it's about to be the best duo y'all are about to ever see in the NBA history. You about to see some love, hate on the court. You about to see you about to see Russ and Pat Beverly fussing each other during halftime. You're about to see these guys getting into it in pregame. You're about to see these guys getting into it on Instagram, Twitter, any talk. This is about to be the best duo in the world. Who can do that? What duo is going to get you televised everywhere? Like, your names is going to be in every single thing. Nah, I'm playing around, man. But I'm gonna go with Kenny stole my thunder with the Tatum and Brown. I'm gonna go with Kyrie and KD. I think once we get a full season, these guys can finally play together and without no drama, no BS, no governor holding sanctions over Kyrie so he can't play. Kyrie don't think the world is flat, or however he think. Everything is about to come together for these 2 guys, since now Kevin Durant's noise is settled. He's staying in Brooklyn. Kyrie don't have no restrictions, and it looks like he's all in this year. And I think Kyrie has something to prove. I think Kyrie is going to have to show guys that he might not be the max player, but he's not no 1-year guy that you just want to keep putting on him every year. He's not the difficult guy that franchise keep running from him, and stuff like that. So with a focused Kyrie and a determined KD, I think Brooklyn is about to have the look that everybody was looking for last year. We're not going to look for this play-in team not getting swept or anything in this nature. I think this is the year that KD and Kyrie is putting their imprint on to the game this year.
Well, this was tough.
Hold on. I got one more. Chris Paul and Aiden. No?
Most overpaid duo, most overpaid.
Hey, you said the best duo. I don't care how you get it. The best overpaid.
They by
they
far
getting
the
it.
overpaid duo. Let's not get it twisted here. But yeah,
the only thing about the DeRozan and the Levine is Levine wasn't able to stay healthy.
Nah, that is not good enough. Like, what are we doing?
That too,
man.
Let me think here.
So they're not a contender in the East at all?
I'm not gonna say that.
No, I'm asking.
I'm not gonna say that.
What they contending for?
They was the number one seed throughout the East throughout the season. They was top. They finished like what, top 6 once the playoffs set in.
Yeah, I want to say they finished top 4 or 5 because I think they played Milwaukee in the 4-5.
So y'all have the Bulls as a.
I'm just saying that.
No, I didn't say a championship team.
I asked contending for what? What are they contending for?
Oh no, they finished in the 6th seed.
What are we talking about?
They contending to make sure they ain't a play-in team. That's what they contending for.
Okay,
right?
they are better than that for sure.
All right,
They better than my team. They better than Kenny's team. They better than Dav's team. Like, I agree with that, but they ain't contending.
Hey, stick to the East. Stick to the East. Stick to the East.
So who would you?
Y'all teams over the East.
Right. So in the East, so if you're asking if they're not a contender, who are you picking before them in terms of being a contender in the East?
I'm going Milwaukee.
Right off top.
Milwaukee, Miami, Boston, Philly, and then we can start having a conversation.
Okay.
But I think the gap between them 4 in that next group is rather vast.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cleveland, then I don't have them there yet, but I think Cleveland is going to give Chicago a run for their money.
Speaking of Cleveland, did my man sign with anybody?
He's still sitting.
He's talking about Saxton?
Yeah.
No, he's still out there.
I don't think
but
he
signed a did he at least sign a 1 year or is he so he's still a free agent? Unsigned?
I think he's still a free agent.
He's been free.
I know he was restricted, but I thought maybe he signed like a qualifier or something like that.
I think he's just still out there lingering.
So
who you duo, Ray?
So now, like I said, this is tough for me. And at this point in their careers, I gotta go Giannis Holiday.
Yeah, that was my number 2.
I think they're the better duo. I watched Katie and Kyrie in the last playoffs, and I know they were going through a lot. But that Holiday Giannis match was pretty good. They ran into a better, deeper team, but they gave him everything they can handle. And I just think Giannis is the best player in the world. So even if I got Kyrie slightly ahead of him, I still got Giannis a bit ahead of KD at this point. So we'll see. And from what I see, Giannis just keep working. Jumping working better and better.
Come back.
So
that is like the taller version of Russell Westbrook right there. Those guys just don't quit.
If he could get as proficient as Bron from 3, Giannis would be a bad.
If he can just get a mid-range jump, if he can just get a jumper, period.
But I think that's the thing, though. He's improving. That the jump shot has improved steadily year over year. So it's just a matter of time.
So yeah, man. Like, and I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, should be super excited about. Yeah.
No, I want to hear it. I'm down for the pettiness.
No. It wasn't. It was about his health. I want to make just him staying healthy. So I didn't want to.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Like that. No, I'm gonna be petty.
Yeah. But speaking of someone who is fully healthy, but starving for a contract, Lamar Jackson, ladies and gentlemen, is still waiting. And we have started the final week of preseason football. Dev, I would like to know your thoughts on when we're getting this Lamar Jackson deal. And if we don't get it now, do we ever get it?
I think we are very, very close. He did put a tweet up saying, saying about this close. I just think it's the guarantee money that's where it's holding up the talks. I think that 230 that Deshaun Watson is just like ugh, and the Ravens they trying to play that hardball, but they also just keep creeping up to it, and I think eventually he's going to get it. I want to say he's going to get it before this week 1 deadline, but I also heard and read reports that Lamar and the Ravens are not scared to gamble on that franchise tag either if he don't get a deal done this year. So trust me, I'm not going bald yet, but this deal just has to get done like as soon as possible. I think so both parties can get ready for the season and don't have this lingering mystery question mark as once he going to see what the contract is health. That's gonna be the main concern. Every time he run the ball, every time he get that defender getting near him and they can get that one clean shot, or some defenders can get that shot because quarterback, Lamar is a running quarterback. The running quarterbacks don't get every penalty like a Tom Brady will get. So that question mark is going to be very, very scary throughout the season if he don't get a contract. Every play Lamar is going to be, it's going to be every Raven fan doing it. Oh man, thank God he made it. So it's scary. So hopefully him tweeting that saying that about this close, that means hopefully another day or two. Because you can't say week or two because in 2 weeks season is here. So hopefully another couple days or so that they can come to a contract agreement.
Okay. Kenny, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that I think it gets done. I think it gets done. I think we get some news in the next.
He's gonna break a record, or you think he's gonna take less?
I think he's going to be the next guy to get I think he's going to be the next guy to get his money fully guaranteed. I think that's what he's shooting for. I think that's why they're saying that they're so close. I think there's a number that he's willing to agree to that with the money being fully guaranteed. So I think he's going to be the next guy to do it because I think for him, because of his style of play, it's even more of an incentive for him to get his money fully guaranteed. And then the other part is that, and we talked about this before, that if this doesn't get done and we go into the season, this is going to be a constant topic of conversation. It could be a distraction to the team because the media is not going to stop asking the questions. We're not going to stop talking about it, even though he may not want to talk about it. It's still going to be talked about. And the more, if he comes out, guns blazing and he's putting up big numbers and they're winning, then we already said yesterday's price is not today's price. We're going to be hearing that all throughout the season. He keeps on and he comes out putting up numbers. So I think that, it's in everybody's best interest to get this done. And I think that they're motivated to do so. And I think it's going to get done.
And okay, we'll just go with if it gets done. So it gets done. The Ravens do what this year?
Well, we playoff, baby. We going deep. If it gets done, I think we're going deep whether it gets done or not. Honestly, I think as long as we have a healthy team We going deep.
All right, y'all gonna go deep. Kenny, what you got the Ravens doing?
We're going further than the Washington Commodores.
We'll see on Saturday, bro. We'll see y'all on Saturday.
We going further than the Washington Commodores.
Don't lose Saturday, I tell you that.
I heard you.
Don't let us break y'all preseason streak. Don't let it happen.
Commodores.
It would not be by Tyler Heineke and the Commodores.
Oh, and if you better hope Tyler Heineke ain't playing. You heard it here first. If Taylor gets a bunch of snaps, y'all going down.
I heard you.
You better hope he ain't playing. And they got Sam
we
Howell
know Chase Young ain't playing.
Really?
And then he had the old nonchalant. Well, we know Chase Young not playing.
Hey,
he got hurt. And we'll see if Michael Gallup play. They talking crazy, but we'll see. Remains to be seen. I tell you this, barring any major setback, Chase Young will be playing way more before Ty Smith.
Yeah. But that ain't nothing new. We've been used to that. He hasn't been able to stay healthy the last 3 years.
So what's Chase Young injury?
He tore his ACL last year.
Oh, that's right.
He's starting on PUP, right?
Yeah, he's gonna miss the first 4.
Yeah.
We
Gallup,
need
to me.
We can't even get Gus Edwards back yet.
Obviously not February. The Cowboys aren't playing then.
Yeah, I think they said it'll be 7 months. Nicely done.
Man, they not playing on me until February.
We know who ain't playing in February.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we know who's not playing in January, but continue.
So
season is over New Year's.
So given this news, Kenny, what does that mean for Dallas? Like, obviously, I forget the guy's name that stepped in last year, and he was solid. Yeah, still, that's right. But obviously, he was supposed to play right tackle, so he's gonna have to move, and now you have a void. The line was already in question. Receivers are to leave something to be desired. We don't know what we getting out of Zeke. Y'all got a USFL guy that's the talk of the town. What do you got Dallas though? What does this injury do to Dallas this season? I know you've had it before, but
of course it's not ideal. Of course, it's not what we would have wanted, but again, this is not anything new. It's unfortunate that Tyron Smith just hasn't been able to stay healthy, and to be so young. He's only 31 years old. He just hasn't really over the last 3 years. He's just haven't been. He's just been a can't get right. So you put Terrence Steele. He goes back to left tackle. You got the young fella Tyler Smith. I think is his name. He's gonna have to play right tackle, and it's next man up. So as it's, I think it was already questions to your point. So this puts even more pressure on Dak Prescott to really lead this team because you got a lot of questions, you got a lot of inexperience, you got a lot of unknowns. So this is really going to tell the tale in terms of whether what type of franchise quarterback Dak Prescott is. So he's up for the challenge, and we'll see how it plays out. But I will say this: we already, to me, everybody, the talk of the division is the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're really under the radar, in my opinion. Nobody's really expecting a whole lot from Dallas, which is, to me, a good thing because normally whenever there's any expectations, we get let down. So I want to be under the radar.
I don't know if I would say under the radar. I mean, y'all are Dallas, the most valuable.
Well, I mean, we're America's team, so of course you guys always are going to want to see what's
that is one of the biggest contradictions in the world. A country so known for its resiliency and winning has a team that hasn't won in generations. It just doesn't make any sense.
Still have more Super Bowl rings than the Redskins, Commandos, Commodores will ever have.
4 now.
Continue.
4 now.
Forever. Ain't no for now.
Whoa. We're going to calm down.
Yeah, you will never catch us in rings as long as Daniel Snyder's in town. That's our guarantee. We don't got to worry about y'all catching us.
Y'all got Daniel Snyder South. Like
he already got his 3. So
we'll see. Daniel do sooner or later. We just need to get a quarterback at some point in our lives. But speaking of quarterbacks,
I thought y'all had Heineke and the Commodores.
We do, but they don't want to play the man.
Carson Wentz, the great white horse.
Nah. Carson ain't it. Carson ain't it.
Y'all wouldn't be nothing. Nobody don't want to come see you, Otis.
About week 7. Taylor will be back. Taylor will be back by week 7.
That's what they gonna be down there. Nobody come to see you, Otis.
There's no temptations without me.
No. But never mind. That's
David Ruffin and the Temptations. I like that.
So I do got to ask you, gentlemen, as a New Yorker,
yes, sir,
that roots for the Cowboys, go figure.
Hates the Giants. Yep. Correct.
I do want to get your unbiased opinion as a New Yorker about one former and one soon-to-be former quarterback from New York, Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold. If you had to start a franchise, who are you taking, Kenny?
Talk about having the one bad and two bad choices. I mean, I'm not a big right. I'm not a big fan of either. I don't even know if there's a right answer. Is there none of the above? Can I pick that?
You gotta pick C.
Because I'm not sold on either one of them in terms of being a starting quarterback. But if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Daniel Jones. He's been a little. He's probably had more success out of the two and had more sustained success out of the two. Sam Darnold, he just hasn't been able to be in the. He just needs to get into see him in another situation, or in a good situation. Like he's kind of been behind the 8 ball in terms of his opportunities. You go with the Jets, who had no talent around him. Then you go from there to the Panthers. You lose your best guy, McCaffrey, basically for the majority of the season, and then he gets banged up. So I just think he's just had some bad luck. And so I don't know if we've seen the best version of Sam Darnold. But if I had to pick, I'd pick Daniel Jones, but not with any conviction or any confidence.
Okay. I'll add another name just for you, Mr. New York. Zach Wilson. Are you taking him over either of those two?
No, he's got to prove it. And again, it's one of those things to where you got to first stay on the field, and then you have to be consistent when you're on the field. And we haven't seen that from Zach Wilson. And of course, he's barely entered his career, but it's an incomplete grade. It's still wait and see with him.
Absolutely. Dev, your thoughts? Who you taking?
Man, I'm just sticking my hand in the bag with my eyes closed and just pray for the best.
What comes out, huh?
We got 2 guys who came to that team and just took their starting jobs away from them. You had Tyrod Taylor, who's been going from place to place to place. You know what I mean? Not his fault, but this guy
was just bad luck.
Comes in and takes your spot. Then you got Baker Mayfield, who was like, golly, man, I feel so used. The Browns used me up, and now they did this with Deshaun in. And he go down to Carolina and do the same thing. Carolina did the same thing that Cleveland did to him. And then you just Sam Darnold. I never had belief in Sam Darnold. I always believed that Sam Darnold and Jared Goff is like those two quarterbacks are at the bottom of the pool. Now that you add Daniel Jones, now those three quarterbacks are all down there at the bottom of the pool. And I think I would just have to go with Daniel Jones, honestly. He's a little bit more, I guess, mobile, athletic-ish than Sam Darnold a little bit. I think Daniel Jones has had he was just in a bad situation in the Giants. The Giants was dealing with bad head coaching and bad GM, bad decision, not drafting good, they haven't been good since that Super Bowl era, since Eli Manning and that team. So I think if Daniel Jones was put in a different scenario, maybe an organization that on the upright and not on the basement floor, I think he can thrive he will thrive better than Sam Darnold. I just don't have no faith in Sam Darnold. I had no faith in either one of them, but I feel like Daniel Jones in a better predicament, better situation, he might thrive better.
Wow. Okay. All right. For me, I gotta go Sam. I think.
You gotta tell me why.
Point, he just hasn't been in good situations yet. Like he's been with the Jets. We know the Jets are trash. And then he went to Carolina and lost McCaffrey because they got off to a decent start. I love when we played Daniel.
That's actually not a bad comparison.
Nah, that's disrespectful. Rex Grossman took a team to.
He took a team to the Super Bowl, apparently, right?
Yeah, they did get to the Super Bowl. No, the Super Bowl. Yeah, he was in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he was in there, but against the Colts.
Yeah. See, I don't see Daniel Jones with nobody nowhere. To the top of the draft, I guess, but that's about it. I just haven't seen it. He's a turnover machine. That's hard to fix.
Sam Darnold is too.
He is, but I think a lot of that is situational. If you give Sam Darnold, Evan Ingram, and Kenny Galladay, and granted he ain't really had Saquon, but a running game of something, I think he could have been better. Like I said, all I'm going off of is when he had McCaffrey, they looked all right. So right. I think if you give him
what if
he's decent? He ain't great.
What if Saquon and what they had, Galladay as their wide receiver or Shepard during that time? What if those guys was healthy for Daniel Jones? Do you think Daniel Jones will be in a different predicament, or do you think they still be?
He's a bum. All right, you wanted me to say it. He's a bum. No, it wouldn't have mattered. He's just not good.
That's all. Thank you. I just knew. I just had to dig deep. Take him to the water. I just had to dig deep. I was just like, hold on. You keep talking about this Christian McCaffrey. No, I just need you to say it. I just need you to say it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I just wanted you to say it. That's all.
Damian, don't do that. You're right. But quarterback still gets the credit. That's just how it goes. He's a part of the problem.
That means Jared Goff took them to the Super Bowl appearance too. Then
yeah. I like Jared Goff.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, buddy. It's some quarterbacks that Trent Dilfer made it and won the Super Bowl.
Put some respect on Trent's name.
And you know what I mean? So it's a lot of quarterbacks.
What Jimmy G did or what Russell Wilson did, and all of a sudden you're having a different story. So that quarterback had to throw the ball at some point. Y'all ain't gonna respect them.
It doesn't matter if he got to hand the ball off 30 times a game. If he didn't fumble that handoff, that quarterback did his job.
Romo did it.
See what I'm saying?
he handled that snap right though, Ray.
Yeah, right. Notice you never bring it. Never. There's a mention of a Washington quarterback. Notice that.
Oh, hold on. Russ Grossman played for Washington.
No, we were talking about playoffs. That's why you wouldn't talk about Washington. So I understand.
Taylor Heineke in the playoffs after beat Tom Brady. The same way.
Oh, here you go with this almost.
The same way Tony Romo almost beat Seattle. So they similar.
Here you go with this almost.
Almost
does not count.
Yeah. If we're comparing Tony Romo to Taylor Heineke, it's hilarious.
Wait till the careers are done. Just wait till they're done. If Taylor Heineke can get with a coach that believes in him and builds a system around him, he'd be all right.
How you say that with a straight face? That's amazing.
I watched him.
I don't care what type of face he said it with. I just can't believe he said that. So you think you're telling me
talent in the division and took him as far as anybody?
So you believe that Taylor Heineke is a starting quarterback in this?
100%.
Nobody come to see you, Otis.
That's fine.
No,
that's fine.
Nobody don't believe in no Tyler Heineke.
It's time for our
Josh Rosen is still trying to get a job. Don't talk to me about Taylor Heineke. It's time for our
nightly. The thoughts and opinions of Ray Bond do not reflect those of the rest of the Real Talk crew. Those are his.
Most definitely not no Tyler Heineke.
No way.
Y'all some haters. He the best.
You want to call us that?
He the best backup quarterback in the division.
Oh, all right. I agree. Yeah, right. You can say that division.
You just proved our point.
And he should be a starter.
You just said it. He's the best backup. He's the best backup.
He should be a starter.
Yeah.
In that division. He didn't even say the league. He said in that division.
Backup.
He probably is the best backup in the league. I'd have to think about it, but he probably
is. Ain't better than no Tyler Huntley, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Keep it moving. I don't care about that almost beating Tom Brady stat. I don't care about that.
Playoffs. What is you talking about?
I don't.
And he beat Tom Brady.
No, y'all defensive line, y'all defensive front.
Our defensive line
got y'all
for like 4 years.
That defensive front got y'all to that playoff. It wasn't no dang good Tyler Heineke.
You saw that pass he hit the scary Terry. Got Terry paid.
How come Tyler ain't get paid this since he threw the pass?
Because the coach don't know what the heck he's doing. I keep telling you that.
Because he's not a quarterback that's going to get paid. He's one of them guys that you was talking about earlier. His career can make a break.
They are making a mistake. I don't know how many times I can say.
I guess that's going to be the second coming of Kirk Cousins, huh? He's going to get that fully guaranteed contract somewhere else, and he's going to be lighting the league off 4,000 yards, huh?
He might replace Kirk in Minnesota. That would be a good fit, actually. Now that you mention it, be a great fit.
So he would be.
Hey Kenny, man, how is the weather down there, Kenny? How is the weather down there? Because this guy is delusional.
Well, I mean, one mediocre Washington quarterback for another mediocre Washington quarterback. I guess that's what we're doing.
I'm gonna leave Dallas alone. I'm gonna move on. And I'll take absolutely. Damian, you got it.
Yeah, okay.
Damian needs to be drug tested.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's
crazy stuff, but that's some good stuff right there.
Talking about you
taking
you weren't even a fan of Damian earlier for what his comment was.
Yeah, he said something crazy. I educated.
You would say it was disrespectful for Rex Grossman over Daniel Jones, and now you're saying you're taking Tyler Heineke over Jimmy G.
I am.
How's that different?
Jimmy G is going to be your quarterback next year.
Taylor Heineke is way better.
Jimmy G is going to be your quarterback next year.
Yeah, and he cost them the Super Bowl.
But to your point, though, you said it was disrespectful to put
because Rex Grossman was overall a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Jimmy G is going to be a Washington Commodore.
Quarterback to Taylor Heineke.
Jimmy
How
G is
many
going to be a
times Daniel
Washington
Jones led his
Commodore
team to
next
the
year.
playoffs?
Say
You said
that
what?
again?
How many times Daniel Jones led his team to the playoffs?
I'll give you that. But Taylor Heineke playing 4 games don't lead your team to the playoffs.
He got it. He won the games we needed to win. He
But
hit
playing
won
4
big games
games
down the
does
stretch.
not equate to leading your team to the
Nah,
playoffs.
buddy. He
We're not
was
doing that.
the driving force in that
Oh,
season.
now he's reaching. Now this man, 4 games, he's a driving force. That's let you know how desperate you are to have a good quarterback.
I know what I saw.
After 4 games, this guy's a hero.
I'm surprised they ain't paid Carson Wentz $230 guaranteed.
Give him the bag.
He desperate for quarterbacks.
Hey, Ray like Oprah. You get a bag. You get a bag. You get a bag. Anybody come be our quarterback.
Haters are always gonna hate, and that's okay.
Y'all gonna have Jimmy G. Y'all gonna have Jimmy G next year.
When y'all go low, we go high. That's what I say to that. So speaking of some low quarterbacks, we have the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray, and we have Tua, the new Patrick Mahomes, Tonga Valoa, according to Tyreek Hill. So the question is simple, fellas. Who you taking?
I don't think this is simple.
You taking the Dolphins or the Cardinals to have a better year? Which quarterback will do it? Dev, I'll start with you.
This is another one that I don't want to be taking neither quarterback. You said Tua and who?
Arizona.
Tua and Kyler Murray.
One player that can't go deep into the playoff and one player that seems like his career is on the rocks. Who would have a better season? I'm gonna go with the dog. I'm gonna go with. I really don't know, man. It's just I have no faith in neither one of them. Because I think for the Dolphins, it's gonna be hell for them. That AFC is just stacked. So I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. I think they have a better year than the Dolphins. The only simple fact because the AFC is just so stacked. You got 3 to 4 teams in the AFC West. You got 3 teams in the AFC North. You got 3 teams possibly that's gonna be fighting in the AFC East. Because that number 2 spot for the AFC East is going to be flip-flop between the Patriots and Miami. They're going to be going at it all year, in my opinion. So I just think Arizona doesn't have that much of a fight like what Miami is about to be having a fight just to try to get in the playoffs, try to get, be one of them top 7 teams in the playoffs. So I'm going to go with Arizona. I'm going to go with Kyler Murray and Arizona have a better year. Oof, that was hard, man. I almost caught a stroke just giving out that answer, man. Like, golly.
Kenny, I'll let you go before Ray Stradamus comes through.
Oh boy.
He may say something. He may say something that go ahead, Kenny. Let me get the guns ready.
I agree with Dev. I think that Arizona has a little the easier path to get to the playoffs. Although, not having D-Hop for those 6 games that he's suspended for, that that's going to hurt. But I think Kyler Murray has a chip on the shoulder. I think he has a point to prove. I think he wants to prove that they can sustain a high level of play for an entire season and not, fall off that they have in these last couple of years going down the stretch. So I think he's had something that he wants to prove. And, I just think that with all of these new pieces in Miami, it's going to take them some time to gel. And the fact that also that there's going to be such a, you got a new coach, you got a new system, you got new players. And so I just think it's going to take some time for everything to come together. And I think because of that and the fact that it's so that the AFC is so loaded in terms of how many good teams that they have, that I think that I'm gonna go with Arizona for that reason. Get them loaded. Ready? Aim.
What you shoot cannons? Golly, I ain't got no cannon button over here, buddy.
Here's the thing.
Uh-oh. He's going with Miami, everybody.
They both suck.
Right up. Right off
For
the
different
top. Right
reasons.
off top.
Both situations are just bad. Miami has all the weapons and no quarterback. And Arizona has a better quarterback, but not really any weapons. I don't think we're going to get the same James Conner. He's typically nicked. Hollywood Brown? Really? That's what we got.
But he still got AJ Green?
I don't even know if he's there, and the reason nobody knows if he's there is because he's not that guy anymore. He's
a good number 2. He was a good number 2 last year. I give him that. He's not number 1 no more. No.
Well, he's gonna have to be the number 1 because Hollywood Brown ain't no one.
We'll fuss that out of me. I seen it firsthand last year. Too many drops.
Hey, so I think both teams will be pretty bad. I think the problem is there's not really a fix to the solution. I think both divisions will be decent, but I think the NFC West is tougher than the AFC East, in my opinion. When you got the Patriots and the Jets,
Bills.
The Bills are tough, but I'll take, I don't have a lot of faith in the Patriots this year. I don't know what the heck they're doing on offense. It's a disaster, and it better work, because if not, Bill Belichick ain't getting a pass for this.
Getting all the heat for that.
Because this is chaos. You got a second-year quarterback, and he's in this kind of system with. Now, if they got something internal, then cool, and you just playing games with the media, all right, cool. I'm good with gamesmanship. But if they really don't know, and it's week to week or call to call, like that's a disaster. So we'll see on that. But I just think Miami's in a better position. I think that AFC West is going to knock themselves out a good bit just throughout the year. I think those are going to be some tough games. And then I look at the AFC North, and I'm like, I know what Cincinnati did. I just feel like they're going to come back to earth in some form or fashion. And then Cleveland's Cleveland. Baltimore, if y'all get Lamar into the contract and everybody's happy, he still got to throw the ball to somebody. And you better, and I ain't going to give you all that. But Mark Andrews, he can only do but so much. You got to have.
I think we're going to have I think our rookie tight end is going to see a lot of bump. I don't know if y'all know about him, but Isaiah Likely.
He had a heck of a game last week.
He been balling out all preseason and through our training camp. So hopefully we have that 2 tight end duo set again, like we had when we had Hayden Hurst and Nick Boyle also. So hopefully we can go back to that 3 tight end set, and
you're not winning a championship like that.
Nah. True. But that was the year that was the year Lamar got his MVP year.
And what did he do in the playoffs?
Hey, the same way the Commodores doing at their show.
But the difference is
Patriots did it with Aaron Hernandez and Gronk, so that's not true.
And do not do that. Okay,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, somebody did something once with 2 great talents. Absolutely. They also had a guy named Tom Brady throwing them the ball. Lamar Jackson is not Tom.
I'm just saying. You said it's not possible. It's been done.
Not with their talent, is what I'm saying.
So they suck too, huh?
Nah. I like the guys. I do. They're good.
Good to know.
But they ain't the Patriots. They wasn't them. That's all I'm saying. So now I got the Dolphins. I think they'll figure it out.
Even with the AFC stack, though, could not this take away the North. But look at how the AFC West is.
The West.
That's what I said. I think the West will beat itself up. The South, I ain't really worried about nobody.
Yeah, we're not worrying about the South.
And then the East, I got Buffalo.
Indy.
I
think Indy could.
I think Indy and Tennessee is going to beat each other up because if I'm not mistaken, those two teams they always play at
ball in Tennessee. Who catching balls?
They gonna run it.
Great question.
They're gonna pound until they said if Derrick Henry can't be stopped and he's the best running back.
They already seen he breaking down. So what you
they run that man to the ground.
That is not a sustainable game plan.
See, but Tennessee and Indianapolis always go head to head, towards the end of the season anyway. They always kind of knock each other off at the end. So
I'll take Waddle.
He do have an offensive.
They only got a block for about 3 seconds.
Yeah, and then they got Jesse Armstead. I don't know about that right tackle, but that left tackle is solidified. Tamon Armstead. He's a most definitely solidified good left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll be okay there. And even if they're not, an old Teddy two-step got to come through.
You think Miami gonna play that 2 quarterback system?
No. They want Tua, but he just ain't gonna be there.
Who was that? I saw something about somebody. Was it Seattle? Seattle's going with a 2 quarterback system. Did y'all see that?
I was hearing something about that. I didn't get too much into it, but I heard they want to start off with Drew Lock, and then if he struggles, they want to throw Geno in there to save the day.
Are they doing that for the season or just for the 3rd preseason game?
I don't know. I just saw a headline. I didn't actually read into it, so I just when you said that, I thought about it.
Okay, we're gonna see. So before we get out of here, I gotta get Jimmy G came up earlier, and y'all was singing the praise and talking trash about Washington needs Jimmy G, and I heard y'all. So now I need y'all to stand on that same hill y'all was on. Are the San Francisco 49ers making a mistake by starting Trey Lance and not starting Jimmy G? The great Jimmy G. The starting quarterback for Washington Commanders, Jimmy G. Kenny, please enlighten us.
No,
I gotta get my shot for that one.
Desperate man. I don't think they made a mistake. I think they saw their ceiling. They saw how. I think they realized they believed that they went as far as they could go with Jimmy G. So I think that it was time to turn the page on that and turn Trey Lance loose. I think he's going to open up another aspect in the creativity of Shanahan's offense. So I think it was just this is the right time to do it because they're still relatively young. Still they got guys between Deebo Sanders and Kittle. They're relatively young, so they still have some time that they can mature and grow together. So I just think that this was the right time to do it. And then the other thing is that you don't draft a guy that high if you don't believe that he's going to be your quarterback. So you're going to have to turn the reins over to him at some point. And I think that I think that the writing was on the wall once at that Green Bay game when you threw the ball, 6 times or whatever it was, to have to win the game. And basically you telling Jimmy G, just don't mess it up. Just hand the ball off and get out the way. Like to me, that was the writing on the wall. So I just think that it is time, and I'm excited to see how this offense, another version of this offense. I think this could be a 2.0 version of the offense, and I think he got some more tools in his bag that he's really going to be able to unleash for Trey Lance. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So this is how I feel. They did the right thing. I'm high on Lance. If he can stay healthy, I think he's dynamic. I think in that offense and that system with those weapons, if the running backs can stay healthy, like if they can stay healthy, I think Trey Lance will be the best quarterback in that draft, in that environment. I would look back. I'm taking him in this draft class. We got to look back at this draft class in a couple years. This is a heck of a draft class he had. When you start talking about like all-time draft classes. But I think he'll be the best. I think Trevor will figure it out. I'm not a Zach Wilson fan per se. I do like Fields and I like Mac Jones enough. But I think if healthy, I think Lance will be the best of that group. Not as a pure passer, but as far as accomplishments and winning, and definitely in fantasy. But that's my 2 cents. Dev, what you got?
Right decision. Jimmy G time was up. He can't throw the ball downfield. And that's where it was holding the 49ers back a little bit, that he couldn't throw it downfield. He wasn't accurate. He was late on his throws and stuff like that. And for a team that's competing for the number one in their division and maybe a step or two away from being in the Super Bowl, Jimmy G can't be that quarterback. You can't be late on these throws. You just can't be Jimmy G. You're gonna have to throw the ball downfield and everything. And Trey Lance can give you that option. It seems like young guys are not afraid to go deep. Versus Jimmy G wants to play this conservative ball. I'm gonna try to, pick you apart. And my opinion, unless you Tom Brady, that pick you apart ain't gonna work. That was like the only quarterback that I can see that actually can dink and dime, and march down the field, take all the time up, and win the game. And Jimmy G, it looked like he tried to take that page when he left New England and tried to bring it to San Francisco, but it just not fitting with Shanahan play calling. And like you said, Ray, Lance is most definitely going to open up their offense. He's going to be able to do the RPO better than Jimmy G. He's going to be able to move outside that pocket. He has a better arm than Jimmy G. Maybe his accuracy might be better than Jimmy G. We're going to have to see as the season go on throughout this year. So I just think it was a better move. It was a safe move. You set him in the back seat all last year, and you tried to see can Jimmy G be your quarterback, and it didn't really work out into your favor. So now it's time to move on. Just like how the Ravens had to transition from Joe Flacco to Lamar, it was time to move on. It wasn't no bad blood between Joe Flacco and the Ravens, and hopefully I don't think it's no bad blood between Jimmy G and the 49ers, but it's time to move on. It's time to open up that offensive playbook and see. Hopefully Trey Lance can get you to a Super Bowl appearance either sooner, or he can get you a Super Bowl win down the line. Whatever year they, whatever their time frame.
Okay. Look at us coming together
for the first time.
For the first time, and maybe the last
only
time.
Took 2 hours.
Remains to be seen. But yeah, definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us. We're gonna have this last week of preseason football this weekend. Tune in since it's such great content, fellas. It's great football out there. People, mailmen and FedEx drivers out there in helmets and shoulder pads. But
one more parting shot.
They gotta live the dream, and I support it. Gotta chase your dreams. You never know. Oprah was like,
"He's gonna be the guy that asks paper or plastic, huh, Ray? Is that what you're saying? Some of these guys are gonna be asking paper or plastic.
They can't even be truck drivers because they turning them autonomous. So I mean, jobs is few. Frying fries. You gotta do what you gotta do for your family, man.
I feel you.
Best of luck to them. But yeah, catch us on Monday. Chris will be back. So definitely excited to have him back on the show. I believe we should be good. So yeah, Monday, catch us at 9 o'clock. Thank you. 9 o'clock Eastern. Shout out to ASAP for all the great things they're doing. Definitely tune in. We got a whole lot of stuff coming. Definitely with some live coverage of a lot of these games and events are coming up. So definitely stay tuned. Like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you later.
All sports, all plays. All sports.